train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
So what's your prediction if Bisping and GSP fight?
Very interesting fight because Bisping's been a battler, a warrior for a long time. He's been very active, and he's a very like well-honed machine right now. Whereas GSP's been out of the loop for a solid 3 years.
Yeah,
no competition at all. However, he's been training the entire time.
Yeah.
So GSP is not a guy who sits around and gets fat and gets nothing done. No, he's constantly training.
Yeah.
But then again, he stopped because he was having memory issues and head injury. Yeah. I mean, he got hit in the head 800 plus times over the course of his UFC career.
In that Hendricks fight, he got hit in the head about 10,000 times, it seemed like. He was a mess after that fight.
Yeah. He's been a mess after a few fights.
Yeah.
Where, you know, Carlos Condit head kicked him and knocked him down. I mean, he's had some wars. Matt Serra knocked him out, you know.
It's weird. It feels like GSP, he's been the champion, but it doesn't feel like he's doesn't have that champion respect for whatever reason.
Well, it's because his last fight with Hendricks was super close.
Yeah, we watched that here.
Controversial.
I did the fight companion.
No, not that fight. I was there for that fight.
Oh,
the
you
Hendricks, were? Yeah, not Hendricks' last fight. I'm talking about GSP's last fight.
Oh, I was talking about Bisping Hendricks.
Oh no, Bisping and Henderson. You did the fight companion for that one.
Henderson.
That's when Eddie Bravo went full Tower 7. Eddie got super drunk, was worried the Illuminati was going to come and get us. But
and I said knockouts were better than submissions, I think.
Well, a lot of people like it. But GSP's last fight with Johnny Hendricks, it was super close. Super close fight, and GSP retired with the belt.
Yeah, I thought he lost that fight. Just, I mean,
a lot of people did.
Yeah.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
Either way, it wasn't like this big victory. It's not like the way he beat down BJ Penn and stopped him. And it's not. If he said, then I'm going to retire, I've had a great time, thank you very much, everybody would be like, yeah, we love you, George.
Right.
But instead, it was a close fight. So people are like, I don't know, man. I don't know if he got the belt.
Right.
Maybe should have went out with a loss there. Who knows?
But don't you think Bisping doesn't have that championship type respect?
He does not right now.
Yeah.
And the reason he does not is because he defended against Henderson, who wasn't really ranked that high.
Right.
And he really shouldn't have got a title shot, but it was a rematch of one of the most epic knockouts ever. Because Henderson flatlined him and then punched him in the head while he was down and flew through the air. And that's Henderson's logo now.
Yeah.
Henderson's logo is literally a silhouette of his body flying through the air, ready to drop a punch down on Bisping's unconscious body.
Yeah.
So...
And then who else has he defended?
Then he defended it. After he did that, who the fuck did he just fight? No, he's fighting GSP. That's the next fight. So he defended it against Henderson, and then the next title defense is going to be against GSP.
He didn't have one before Henderson?
No. He won the title by beating Luke Rockhold.
Oh, Luke,
Then he defended it against Dan Henderson, and now he's going to fight GSP. So the thought is, how is this guy getting two fights that aren't Luke, you mean, when you look at
number one contenders.
Luke Rockhold, Yoel Romero, who's the number one contender, who's fucking terrifying.
Which he should get the shot, you think.
Yoel should get the shot. Yes. Yeah, if you look at it in terms of who's the most viable contender, who's the guy that you would think would be the most threatening guy, who's the guy that might be the uncrowned champion, you got to go with Yoel Romero.
It feels like UFC is... I think, you know, they're trying to find their way, their footing a little bit with no Ronda, no Conor, so they're just going after that big, what can we sell a bunch of pay-per-views for, and GSP's a big name.
No, go, please, go.
No, I was just going to ask, what's happening with Conor and that whole fight with...
Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah, is that happening?
They don't know. It has not been worked out yet, so it's not definitive, but there's so much money involved that they think they're going to make it happen.
And that's the UFC's got to come to an agreement. Or didn't he get in trouble with the UFC, though, Conor? Didn't Conor, for I don't know, not saying something and coming out and saying... something a while ago, or get fined or something?
He got fined for the throwing the water bottle Monster Energy thing.
Yeah, they fined him $150,000, and they dropped it down. I think they dropped it to like $35,000.
He said he'd never fight in Vegas again after that, and so
and they're like, "Hey, relax."
Because we can't go to New York because they're going to go to New York. It's a debacle.
The big factor is another factor is also that the UFC was purchased by WME.
That's what
That's an entertainment company.
Right.
Entertainment company is going to try to put on the biggest show they could put on, and that's not necessarily like the #1 ranked contender fighting for the title. I think that it's an entertainment. I understand it's a business. I understand, but it is also it's extremely important that you honor the hierarchy of champion and top challenger. I think that's critical.
Well, you work your way up. I mean, you pay your dues. You work your way up. You're ranked on ability.
Yeah.
So
they're trying to manufacture big fights instead of letting big fights build themselves.
Evolve.
Yeah, big fights evolve when you let a guy like Yoel Romero fight and he wins. He beats Chris Weidman by knockout, and then if he fights Michael Bisping and Michael Bisping, if Michael Bisping beats Yoel Romero, Michael Bisping becomes a superstar.
Right.
You know, and it's a tough fight. It's a real tough fight. If Yoel Romero beats Michael Bisping, first of all, he looks like a goddamn superhero. Yeah. So that's easy to sell. You know, you look at his highlight reel of smashing people to the fucking moon. Yeah. He's a freak. Yeah. He's one of the greatest wrestlers that's ever competed. You know, he medaled in every single international competition he entered. He beat Cale Sanderson. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He beat him twice. He's just a freak of freaks. Do you know who Yoel Romero is? Jamie, pull up a picture of Yoel Romero. Because he doesn't even look real.
No, he doesn't.
He's like one of those guys who are like, what is that? That's a person? Is that a real person or a CGI person? Just so jacked.
Who did he... Oh, he beat...
He beat everybody.
No. But in that last one with the flying knee...
Chris Weidman.
Right. Oh, my God.
He flatlined him.
Yeah, because it seemed like that whole fight, he wasn't really doing much.
Look at that. Jeez. Get the fuck out of here. That's a real person?
But he did this.
Not look fun.
He's so jacked.
The fight against Chris Weidman was sort of like hanging in the balance, and then he did some flying knee, hit him in the side of the head. Yeah, I was just like, where did that come from?
So pull up that video that Yoel Romero KOs Chris Weidman. Yeah. There's an animated GIF of that. Oh, here we go. Go to the video. It's fucking insane. Like, look how he fucking flies when he lands.
No, but look how he turns around already and lands punches.
Here it goes. Watch this. Boom.
How recent was this fight?
A couple months ago.
I was in Australia. I don't think I saw it down there.
He's just a freak,
That's
man.
Crazy.
And it cut the biggest gash in the side of his head.
Wow. Yeah. See if you get a clear video of it.
Superman fly. Yeah, look at that.
From like another angle. But he's just a freak of nature and science.
He's capable of that at any second.
Boom. But like the amount of force behind that, he's just flying through the air.
And that's like so irregular too. It's kind of like the way like Chuck Liddell used to hit, like real irregular, like a flying knee to your face.
Out of nowhere type thing.
Well, he's just he's so explosive. So his ability to close the distance is stunning sometimes, and people aren't prepared for it because he's such an athlete.
But in that fight, it didn't feel like he had been doing much. You know what I mean?
Right.
It felt like he was just kind of like, God, when is he going to get off?
It was a close fight, for sure.
And then all of a sudden, just some out of nowhere.
Yeah. But. So whether or not Michael Bisping can beat him, like who knows? But you got to give him a chance.
Oh, I know. He's
got to give Yoel a chance.
Yeah. So it seems, I don't know, it doesn't seem, life isn't fair, who cares? But it doesn't seem fair that it's GSP.
Well, the thing is it a sport or is it entertainment? I mean, you're just trying to put on a spectacle or is it a sport? And if it's a sport, if you're going to have the World Series, people play this guy to play that guy, and it gets to the World Series. And here's the World Series, folks. And we've had this whole season. We've been building to this moment, and this is the hierarchy. Right. And it's still huge.
No, if it's just a show, put 3 of them in there. Put Yoel in there too with GSP and Michael Bisping.
I was saying
all 3.
I was saying that they should have, because you're dealing with a guy in GSP who's been out for a long time. Yeah. Have him fight Nick Diaz. He's been out for a long time too. Neither one of them is ranked. Have both those guys.
They fought before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a rematch.
Yeah.
That's the fight.
That would get ton of pay-per-views.
People
love Diaz.
They love him. I don't think people even know how much people love him. I don't even know if the UFC knows how big of a star Nick and Nate are.
Yeah.